My name is Erin. Music is one of my many passions, but probably the greatest and most dear to my heart. I grew up in Minnesota. My mom was a music minor during high school and continued to play throughout her life, so when I was younger, she'd always sit at the piano and play these old church hymns for me and my younger brother, and that really inspired a love of music in myself and in my brother. He plays guitar, and I play cello. I played volleyball for a while when I was younger, but my passion for volleyball never matched what it was for cello and piano, because when I was 8, my mom started me in these intensive classical music lessons on piano, and then a few years later when I was 11, I started playing cello, and so I already had that theoretical knowledge from when I had played piano, and then I was able to transfer it pretty easily onto cello as well. If you imagine my piano teacher as any stereotypical piano teacher, that's exactly what she was. She was this mean old lady, and so of course, going to these lessons, I never wanted to go. It was my least favorite thing of the week was going to sit in this old woman's house and have her ingrain these lessons into me. But as I continued, I just grew to love it more and more. I continued playing piano and cello throughout middle school and throughout high school. I took weekly lessons for each, played both at a very high level. On piano, I was, in my junior and senior year, invited to some high-level honors concerts in my home state of Minnesota. And for cello, I was top of my orchestra. I played in a few competitive regional orchestras, and it was the thing I was most involved in. When I was starting high school, the way that our school district works, there was 2 middle schools that fed into the high school. So I started orchestra that first week, and there was this other cellist, this girl from the opposite middle school, very talented, and very similar to me in so many ways. Her name was Sarah, and I was a little jealous because she was so insanely good, but she was also just a not kind person, a very mean person. At one point during that first school year of high school, she went behind my back and was talking to my very best friend in the whole world, Valeria, and was spreading lies behind my back, and tried to break up our friendship. And Valeria, to this day, is still my best friend because she came to me and was like, "Hey, Sarah said these things about you that just aren't true." Her trying to do that really hurt me tremendously. It made me doubt myself a little bit, but it also made me want to get better at cello. So I just kept practicing as much as I could, and at the end of our freshman year, it came time to audition for the higher orchestra, and my audition went well, and I got in, and she didn't. It was so incredibly rewarding, and I don't think I would have been able to do it without the amount of time and hours I put into preparing for that audition. One of the most influential experiences that I had during my learning and experience as a cellist was during this out-of-state string camp that I went to for 3 weeks, actually in Illinois, where I now go to school. Because I was at this string camp on scholarship, they made me do double the amount of ensembles as everyone else. So I had one ensemble playing cello and one playing piano, which meant I doubled the music and doubled the amount of practicing time, which would have already been a lot with just one instrument. So it was a very difficult and long 3 weeks. I developed so many calluses on my hands. But at the end, in our final showcase, they put one of my ensembles at the beginning and one at the end, because the 2 groups happened to be the best. At the end of the concert, the sheer number of people coming up to me and saying how beautiful we sounded in both groups, it was so incredibly rewarding and frankly a little overwhelming. I had never received that much positive feedback before, and it made me so grateful for the amount of work that I had put in throughout those weeks. For a really long time, I was heart set on becoming a lawyer, and once I got about halfway through high school, I realized that definitely was not the path for me. And so looking at my life, my other huge passion was music. And so upon researching that, I found out that to continue playing at a collegiate level, I'd have to choose to specialize in one instrument. And in order to do so, and be successful beyond college, the better option was to pursue cello. I was spending hours and hours every day practicing, trying to get these audition materials ready. And around January of my junior year, I caused this like insane case of tendonitis on this tendon. It was very painful, and I couldn't play for probably 6 weeks. Towards the end, I could play maybe a little bit, but not very much at all. And it put me so far behind on all my audition materials that unless I went and was doing double what I was doing before, I wouldn't be able to catch up. And if I did do double of what I was doing before, the tendonitis would come back. And so going through that made me realize that it wasn't really a feasible option for me to pursue this in college. I switched my area of focus. I now go to Loyola University Chicago. I'm in the Quinlan School of Business. I'm a marketing major. Love that girl. But I also play cello on the side. I'm involved in the University Symphony Orchestra, and I'm going to be starting another chamber ensemble next semester. So it's become a side passion, a side hobby, instead of my primary focus. Keeping cello now as a side hobby has actually taken a lot of pressure off of it. Before in high school, I was playing to get good enough to play at a professional level. Now I'm just playing for fun, and so it's become a stress relief instead of a stress reducer. And I love the moments during my week where I can go to a practice room or go to a rehearsal and just have time to perform and play. With cello, I am currently the best I've ever been, which I was good in high school, but I've been able to improve even upon that. So that's been very rewarding. But for cello, or for piano, now I play it on the side, of course, and so I have been starting to lose some of my dexterity. So my goal for this upcoming winter break is to just practice and practice, find pieces that make me happy, and maybe get a little bit of that back. My music journey started with my mom, Sheila. I love her very much, and I always hope to make her proud. And I'm very excited because for our final concert this semester, she is flying in to watch me perform. I love music, and I love my mom, and I'm so happy that the two can be cohesive and harmonious.